So I just got back from watching the newest A Quiet Place movie, starring Lupita Nyong'o from Us and Black Panther, as well as Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things fame. Now, as the title states, yes, this movie takes place on day 1, which we already got a look back on day 1 in A Quiet Place 2, but besides that, this focuses on a whole set of new characters, focuses on a character named Sam, who has a very damning thing going on in her life, which I will not get into, because this is my first and probably only spoiler-free review. But without prolonging the intro, let me give you my thoughts. But, as I said, it takes place on day 1, and I like how everyone knows pretty much nothing about how these animals work and how everything's going on, and people are just, adapting to their surroundings, learning to be quiet and stuff. I really like that. I think it's pretty fascinating. It's also funny because it's New York, it's very loud. All of that going on with people screaming and running around and getting killed by monsters. Very cool. In general, I really, really like this movie. Now, there are some scenes that might seem a little too long for some people, and even for me in the theater, I was thinking, why are these scenes going a little too long? I didn't think they were boring because instead of just having long scenes with nothing going on, we really get to flesh out the characters, and I think it's a very good thing that this movie does focus on. It doesn't just focus on monsters and creepy stuff going on, even though there is plenty of that. It also shows a deep connection with the characters where you really want these people to live. You really want them to get out of it, and I really like that. And just all around, I think it's very amazing, the stuff that goes on in this movie. We get great character moments. There is so much character development in this movie where it feels realistic. It feels good. There's so much going on, but it works really well. From beginning to end, I was hooked. I really enjoyed it. And it was not what I was expecting. But that's not a bad thing, because as I said before, I really enjoyed this movie. This movie was suspense. So many moments had me on the edge of my seat, wondering what will happen. Will this character make it or not? It is scary sometimes. Suspenseful. I keep using that. This really is a suspenseful movie. It's very cleverly made. It focuses on the characters, as I said before, getting inside their heads, their thoughts, their feelings, their actions. It makes you want to root for the characters, and you do root for the characters. You want these people to make it out alive. Also, the cat, you also want the cat to live. When it just keeps running around all the place, but that's neither here nor there. But it really does make you love these characters. You want them to get out of it, because they're actually likable characters, and that's good. Even though John Krasinski did not direct this movie, he was still involved with this movie. He was a co-writer in this movie. Which, this is probably why it feels the same, but yet just different enough where it feels fresh and new. Now, moving on to the thing that I thought was not the best, or was not as good as the rest, which there isn't a lot to nitpick about this movie. Again, I thought this movie was great. I love seeing these characters in New York, interacting with stuff, going around, trying to get pizza. That's a little reference for later if you actually watch the movie. If you understand, you understand. I like seeing people getting attacked in New York and all this stuff going on. It's really cool. But there's one thing that I wish we actually got to see more of. I watched the previous movies because I just kind of wanted to. And in that, you see a character named Henry. He's actually in this movie. But again, this is my only complaint. I wish that Henry was a bigger part of the story than what he actually was. He's kind of in it for the beginning scene and a little later. That's about it. And I was really hoping for a lot more, because in the second movie, you really get what he's talking about. In the second one, you can hear Henry talking to Emmett about his past and about how all these folks were in New York.
That day, we got here the same way as you. We were in the city when we heard the hurricane sirens. Once they knew they couldn't swim, the National Guard were told to start loading people onto boats. Any boat that they could find. So as soon as people saw the first one get out safe, well, everyone just started pushing forward. That's when they started screaming. They had 12 boats lined up on the dock that day. Only 2 got out.
I like the way it goes through his experiences and his trauma and stuff, talking about it. But that's it. That's all my complaints. That's all I wanted, was to get a little bit more of Henry, and that's it. But besides that, this movie is very suspenseful, very scary, very intense, very edge of your seat movie, man. It is awesome. It's probably one of the scariest movies of the year. I'd go as far as say that. It really is truly a good movie. I highly recommend this movie. Even if you haven't watched the previous movies, it really doesn't matter, because you really don't need to. Because this movie feels different, but in a good way, where you don't need to watch the previous movies to know what's going on, you know? So, in my eyes, I see this movie as a solid 9 out of 10. It is really good, I really enjoyed it, and I really hope you do too. So, without further ado, peace out, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.